and this is 1987, that you think have achieved greatness and you want to live life like? I thought I had killed them when I started mentioning names. I said Jaguar. I said Papi Loué. I said Baba Salah. And my uncle added Nati. It was when he said Nati of New Masquerade that he hit me that I was on a wild goose chase. But then again, the story changed. I started doing shows outside school for corporate bodies. And it was because the corporate bodies saw the value in what I was doing. What we are yet to do in the arts and entertainment industry is for people to continuously see the value. Because when we travel out, we see the values and we pay for them. I have a friend, big time conglomerate businessman, billionaire, I saw in London once, and he asked, "Oh, Ali, I have a box seat for a stage play. Would you come?" I said, no. So he gave me a ticket, and I looked at it. £300 each ticket. If you tell that man to pay for that kind of seat in Lagos, he won't come. But we can do it outside Nigeria. The Dubai that they are mentioning, my wife and I were in Dubai with the children. And we paid for a tour, 4,000 dirhams. And we went on this cruise, we went on desert safari, and we rode on a camel. After the 4,000 dirhams was ended, as we were going back home, I was asking my wife, "Is that it?" And she said, "What is that? Didn't you enjoy yourself?" I said, "To climb camel." I said, "We have temperate environments. If you bring 5 camels to Lagos and tell a Lagosian to climb on it for 1,000 naira, he will ask you, 'Are you selling the camel?'" And then we also went, I need to mention this, we went somewhere and a man from South Africa would hold his hand out and a falcon will come and land on it. And we all paid money to watch it. Meanwhile, in Lagos, you see 3, 4, 5 guys with hyenas. Who has seen them? They walk around with the hyenas, they make them dance, they make them roll over. And we just say, We were in Paris and I saw a circus of elephants jumping, monkeys playing football, dogs juggling, lions jumping through fire. And 2,000 pounds after, as we were going home, I asked my wife, I said, if those boys knew that those animals could fetch that much money, they would have put them on stage on Muson Center. Who would go? None. Nobody will go there to go and see one animal jumping through fire, except his barbecue. In Nigeria today, the tourism sector is a sector that has been totally untapped. The people who come here on their own. It's not like we made a calculated attempt for them to come. Don't think and be fooled by a Calabar Carnival or a Lagos Eyo Festival. We're talking about calculated attempts by government to bring it. Like I mentioned to you, the government doesn't care. They don't. How long did it take for them to honor entertainers? How long did it take for them to recognize writers? The first time Wole Soyinka was recognized was in a Nobel Prize. And it took years before they even thought of giving him the CFR, that he turned down, rightly so. We honor the people that don't add value. We honor the people that take value away from us. We travel and we buy the Eiffel Tower. We buy the camels. We buy the London buses. We buy the Statue of Liberty. How many of you have seen your masquerades sold in a shop? How many of you have seen the Zuma Rock sold in a shop? So that someone can come into Nigeria, buy it, go back, and when you say, where's that from? It's in Nigeria, Zuma Rock. Which means anytime the man is in Nigeria, he would want to see Zuma Rock. We have a museum that's just to store things that we don't need. We have sites that should actually fetch money. I know so many of you here would have been to Robben Island to visit a place that Mandela was locked up in. We don't remember where Awolowo was locked up. We don't remember the first house that Lord Lugard lived in. On your way to the conference radio station that belongs to Senator Ogbeha, you will see one tattered looking abandoned building. But if you were overseas, people will be going there. A lot of our artists do not know that there's so much money to be made from the history that you tied to statues. Madam Tissot, you see, you go there, you take pictures with the Queen. How many of you are taking pictures with the Oba of Benin's image? The Sultan of Sokoto? How many? But this is something that artists can come together and build. If you wait for government, you go die there. We do not have such statues that represent people like Sam Loko, Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Ojukwu, Mary Celeste, Oba Varame, Oba Kosoko, the Sardana of Sokoto, Usman Dan Fodio, Herbert Macaulay, Mrs. Kuti, even Dr. Adadevo. Nothing. Now, a child cannot go and see where it is written that this is the woman that took her life to save our lives. But if we go overseas, we can see that. Game shows are gone. That's another sector that needs to be looked into. It's untapped. Now we bring game shows from overseas. I grew up watching Take a Trip. Makes me look old. We do not have game shows. We just keep franchising and borrowing from overseas and bringing them into Nigeria. That's a sector that needs to be developed. Overseas, the late night shows start from 10 p.m. and last till about 2, 3, 4 a.m. Since we started 24-hour channels, how many late night shows are on in Nigeria? None. Because we do not have a system that recognizes creativity.